What is up, everybody? How's it going? We're here at African Frame, and we're here to talk about the Fantastic Four trailer review or whatever. You might get this video twice. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a guest, so I don't even know why I'm introducing, but it's fine.
You
It's
got
okay,
energy,
bro.
bro.
You just keep going. Keep going.
Buckmeister Cool on Meister Geek Media and Buckmeister Cool Reacts. Recast the Chala campaign. You can check all of that stuff out. That's where you'll find me. And yeah, all my social media is Buckmeister Cool. You'll find all my craziness there. But yeah, let's get into this trailer. So I just watched it fresh. These guys, I believe you guys have watched it before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I just
I'll
watched it
tell you.
before we started recording, actually. That's why I brought it up.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'll tell you now, like I know of the Fantastic Four. I've read some of the runs of the Fantastic Four. The Thing is my favorite character from the Fantastic Four. I love saying it's clobbering time. And first off and foremost, the guy who's doing the Thing, the voice, can he say it's clobbering time convincingly? I don't know.
It doesn't seem that way because he seems like he's the most gentle giant. Look, I do get that the thing is that he's a gentle giant, but the portrayal of the thing that we always got is that he is not necessarily, the softest man on earth. Like he has a bit
Yeah.
of a temper, and he sort of like
Yeah, I'm
hates
saying
how
he's
he
pretty
looks,
pissed. Yeah, he's
has a
pretty
He,
chip
pissed
on
that he's
his
a rock
shoulder.
man.
he's known
Yeah,
to
has an
sound like
actual chip.
Batman goon, dog. With the boys, it's the bats. That's
Yeah,
that
he
goon.
Yeah,
definitely has that
yeah,
New York thing going on, that
Yeah.
yeah.
accent and
No, I
stuff.
mean that's why he isn't he from I believe he's from Yancey Street or whatever. I
Something like
can't
that.
remember
But
all of the law, but
remember,
I'm just
like
saying I know,
Kirby
yeah.
modeled after like his own sort of like backstory or his life to a
Yeah.
certain degree.
Yeah,
Because I
he's
think Ben
basically yeah,
is
because
Jewish.
yeah, Ben's Jewish and he also smokes a lot of he used to before Comics Code came in. He
Yeah,
used to smoke a lot of cigars
yeah.
and whatever. So yeah, Kirby modeled Ben after himself, because that's the other thing. Kirby also, as a dude, he was kind guy at heart,
Mm.
but you make him mad and he's prepared to fist fight you anywhere in
Yeah,
the street.
he was always screwed over. Actually, some of the panels of action sequences were based on his actual fights in the streets.
Mm.
Yeah, like I'm
So
saying, he used to get racist letters about when he created Black Panther and he was writing Black Panther with Stan Lee. Basically that Fantastic Four issue, he was getting racist letters from some people, and he was like, "Meet me in the street, I'll find you." Like he literally embodied its clobbering time. I think that's where it came from. I think like I have a fun headcanon that Jack Kirby used to say that before he fist fought anybody. He'd like finish a drawing and somebody would say something, he'd piss him off, and they'd be like, "I'm gonna put this down. It's clobbering time."
I've been
So
wondering what he would think about some of the MCU movies that have been out since the MCU's inception, because most of the stuff that came out was from his work, and even though
I
it's a
don't know.
billion dollar company.
It's probably going to be a different feeling because yeah, I mean, it could go one of two ways. He could Alan Moore it, where he just disassociates with
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Because Alan Moore even famously had his name taken off of stuff.
Of Watchmen,
Everything.
Watchmen, yeah.
There's never been anything he's gone, oh yeah, they did a good job. V for Vendetta, Watchmen,
Hmm.
he's
Yeah,
hated all of them, dog. There's
that's
no place
true.
you can find.
The closest was the Justice League episode where he did the Superman, the man who has everything. I think that's the only thing
All right,
he
right,
put his
right.
name on
Where
because of the
Mangold,
Justice League.
where
Yeah,
they, yeah, that Mangold one. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mongol came in and put weird things on everybody
With
and made them dream.
Yeah.
squid thing on Superman's face. Yeah.
And Batman just envisioned his dad beating the shit out of Jojo.
Yeah. Anyway, so going
Anyway,
back to the Fantastic Four, so there is a bit of everything. First of all, we've mentioned that. Okay, we said this offline, but we'll just say it again. It seems like it's just a carbon copy of Rise of the Silver Surfer.
no,
Um,
I don't even think it's a carbon copy. I think it's a fusion of of the first Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer. It's like they're doing both movies in one movie, which is weird.
it
Um,
also kind of gives me the impression of the Fantastic Four animated series first episode. So what happened in that episode was we get like a
Wait, the 60s one.
no, the one that came out in the 90s.
I know
Oh,
what
okay.
you're talking about, like Mnet or something like that, KTV or some.
I don't know, but I saw it on Disney Plus. So it
Ah.
basically shows it's a TV show, and they're on the couch, sort of like think like Jay Leno or Arsenio Hall, and
I was thinking of the cartoon. Never
so
mind.
basically they're just talking about how the Fantastic Four came to be and all of that. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this looks like the first episode of that animated series, because it seems like there's a broadcaster introducing the Fantastic Four to the crowd or whatever. So I don't
Yeah,
know
but
what's
like
that
I
about.
think the thing is that one thing that is worrying me with this trailer, again, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it because I've like everybody knows my T'Challa policy when it comes to the MCU. So unless in the Fantastic Four they'd be like, oh yeah, here's the T'Challa of this universe and he hops a ship with Reed or whatever. I don't even think I'm gonna go watch this in the theater, honestly. And yeah, there's no black cards to pull this time around, guys. It's not Captain America 4, so you can't try and they tried to guilt trip me with that one. So there's no chance here. Everybody is white.
It's yellow bone card. Pedro Pascal is not white. He's just yellow boned.
No, he's a
Um,
spicy white.
so
He's a
what do you think,
they've
Rob?
added some garlic. He's a garlic white. Anyway, yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Okay, what I think is okay, number one, I was probably gonna watch this when it turns on DVD or
Jesus.
streaming. You know what I mean? I was never excited to watch this. I think again, I've said it before, Pedro Pascal looks sad in this whole thing where it's almost I think I'm tired of Pedro Pascal looking sad. Do you know what I mean? Getting Last of Us vibes. I'm getting what's it, the Gladiator vibes.
Mhm.
I'm getting bored of Pedro Pascal at this point doing the same thing over again. I would rather get the OG Mr. Fantastic at this point. I think I said that before, but he just
Look, there was nothing wrong
No,
with Ian
but
Crawford. Nothing.
no. Okay, everybody's having nostalgia for the original movie.
Yeah.
Look, straight up, the Tim Story movies, the writing was bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
The
We
writing,
have said the writing is bad, but
Yeah.
the actors
yeah.
were not the problem.
No. The actors were not the problem. Like everybody says that Jessica Alba was terrible as Sue Storm. She
Yeah.
wasn't. They just didn't give her anything to do.
Until
Like the reason why Chris Evans comes off so good is because his character was given stuff to do.
yeah.
Even Chickless is the thing. He's technically given stuff to do.
Chickless was good.
I mean,
Chickless
the
was good.
relationships were fantastic, but no, have you not seen
Yeah.
Twitter lately? They've given Jessica Alba a second chance after seeing the new one. They're like, maybe we were too strong.
No, but the problem is that now the way they're judging those movies is they're judging it off of the hotness of Jessica Alba at the time. They're not actually looking at her acting. Because if you look at those movies, they didn't really give her a chance to act. There was a time like there's a story that came out with Tim Story. Of course. How did he get the last name Story? You trying too hard, bro. If it's real, wow. But if it's not, that's fancy actor speak and or fancy director speak where they like, I go by a symbol now. Yeah, get out my face. Anyway, but like there's a story that came out with Jessica Alba where in Rise of the Silver Surfer when she's crying about her wedding being ruined, like Jessica Alba like threw herself into it and like she looks like she's so distraught and it's like it was supposed to be a big day. She gave that performance to Tim Story. And then Tim Story was like, you kind of look a little bit too ugly when you cry like that. So can you just like cry prettier? Or whatever, just like, and then that's why she looks like a robot in the face when she's crying. Jessica Alba can give you something.
Yeah,
She's been in rom-coms before. She's like she has chemistry with actors. I don't think she's a bad actor. Ian Grufford, I've seen him in other stuff. He's great at acting and whatever. And even his Reed, it's closer to the comic book Reed. It's just that they don't give him comic book Reed stuff to do. It's like the director didn't read the comic books and the actors did, if you get what I'm saying. So now everyone is confused.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's the thing. Visually,
sorry, I think you cut off for a second there. I didn't get that. It's as if what?
No, I'm saying it's as if the director didn't read the comic books, but the actors did. So that's why now it looks very confusing. Because
Right.
Chickless is the thing. Chickless is the thing. He is so comic book accurate, it is scary. Like, it is just
Yeah.
like, man, you wasted your passion on this project because you were
Yeah.
in it. And Chickless was so passionate that he didn't even do CGI. He did an actual
Yeah, it was
muscle
practical
suit.
makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was decent practical makeup. Even though I've got it in with the thing CGI right now is kind of on fire. I like it.
No,
I
it's
like it a
good.
lot. It
No,
looks
no. That's
amazing.
the thing right now looks good. It's just that he doesn't sound.
Oh yeah, no, the sound isn't.
No, but also he looks, oh my
Wow,
God, he made
there
it.
it is.
What's up, bro?
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
How you doing, man?
Gentlemen,
Yes, we
can
can.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
We
man.
can hear you. Can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Oh,
I
did you say
can,
pun
I
man?
can hear you.
Okay. Okay,
I can
great.
hear you. Okay, let me just sync my camera on shortly.
No problem.
Oh, okay. Well,
All
yeah,
right,
we're just in the middle
ladies
of
and
talking about it, but
gentlemen, this is Smilo. I think is it Goza or is it Khosa?
Gosa.
Gosa.
Gosa. Yes,
He has
sir.
been, he's someone that has been looking forward to joining us for a very long time. So I'm just glad that we managed to get him on. So Smilo, yeah, we just talking about the Fantastic Four trailer. I know you and I had started the conversation on WhatsApp, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on the trailer before we do our Heart of the Hunter review. But yeah, Buckmeister, you can just finish your thought before he jumps in.
oh, okay. Anyway, this I'm not gonna try and take too much time because I do want the guests to talk. What's up, bro? Well, I'm a guest too, anyway. But getting back to this thing, yeah, one of the things is visually this does not look terrible, I guess. But another thing is that the thing also he looks too small to me in this thing. Like he's not him and Sue are like the same height, and I know he's taller than Sue.
Yeah.
Like he's not supposed to be like the thing is supposed to be like wide and like big enough that he can like look like he can fight the Hulk. And
Yes.
I'm like, this is not translating. And then also one last thing, Pedro Pascal, him looking sad. I should probably touch the Shalabal thing as well. Okay, I'll try and cover these 2 points. So Shalabal, first off and foremost, everybody who's saying that, oh, she was in the comic, she was in the comic. She had 2 panels in an alternate universe as Silver Surfer, where she was married to Norrin Rad or something like that, and they just like fly into the sun. So I trying to say that it's in a comic book. No, she's just doing Norrin Rad's thing. She's being a herald for Galactus. That's Norrin Rad. That's everything Norrin Rad does in the comic book. It's one of his biggest conflicts, is that he becomes a hero because of his guilt of being a herald for it.
I think the MCU is
basically.
Oh, sorry, please continue, Rob.
No, I was gonna say it's a 2-panel version of Gwen Stacy because remember they reversed the Gwen Stacy thing as well with the idea. Yeah. So I'm just agreeing with him.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to say it seems like the MCU is confusing. They're confusing themselves in a sense that they're trying to introduce. They've been pushing this multiverse thing, but at the same time they're trying to introduce the whole Marvel Now thing. At the same time, that Ultimate Universe thing, Buckmeister. And then at the same time, they're still trying to tie in all these other movies that they had since they bought 20th Century Fox. So it's like they're doing so many things at the same time, and it's just not making sense anymore. You know what I mean?
Hey man, Smilo, I think we met up before.
Yes, we did.
Afro Geek Fest. Yes. Why? Okay,
sure.
my God.
For sure.
Yeah, I got his.
My God, why?
I got his digits from Tebadlo.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, and then okay, so Shalabal she should have been Nova. If you even if you're going with the alternate universe thing, if you went with Nova, who's on and off, she was a herald of Galactus as well. They had an on and off relationship in space, and all of that stuff. I haven't made my way through all of those comic books, but I know of that character, so you could have done that. Not to be confused with the Nova Corps. It's another Nova.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that question. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's the Nova Corps, and then she's Nova. Hey, comic book writers run out of names, guys. But anyway, she was Nova, the cosmic being woman that Silver Surfer tried to convince to not be a herald anymore or whatever. So could have gone with that. It would have been the same thing, and it would have just pissed off less fans. Also, the reason why Pedro Pascal looks so sad in this thing is because they are rushing his father arc. Like now he's a dad already. Like that was a big thing in the comic books that they needed to work through their relationship and understand each other as people before they introduce kids into this thing. So now Sue Storm and Reed jumping into kids, it skips a whole bunch of stuff that you should probably have built up in the first place. That's why Pedro Pascal has to look worried. Because
Yep.
now he's worried about the kid he's bringing into the universe. He's worried about like Reed does be sad. Reed does worry. That's not like a thing that's out of the comics, but immediately,
Yeah,
Maybe
this
they
is
should have just
that's
introduced they should have just introduced the children from the beginning so that we don't have to like go through this whole thing because Franklin probably has an arc in this thing.
yeah.
And if he
no.
doesn't,
I'm saying take the kids out. I'm saying focus on the Fantastic Four. You still need to get people to like these characters and like their dynamic
no,
before you
but it
start
seems like they're
introducing
rushing
children.
Avengers Doomsday and they want the
Oh
Fantastic
my,
Four
but
in.
that's the problem. But also, Doomsday doesn't require the need of Franklin. They can have Franklin after Doomsday. They don't need to be having a child. Like, we
I
still
think
don't know if we like this Fantastic Four in the first place. And then I guess last thing, it's called First Steps, and their first villain is Galactus.
yeah, and remember they've already been famous for a while. The whole world knows them. How is this a third
Yes,
step? But
yes.
I think there's actually there's a nice video that talks about this, and I think it's 100% correct. It talks about how one of the best ways for Marvel to deal with what they're struggling with right now is to almost mimic wrestling, because them trying to link in all these things, all these actors aging in and aging out, they're struggling. So, what's a good system that works? Wrestling system. Then you make WrestleMania every 2 years, basically, and you put in between movies. If they do badly, then the character dies in the next movie, and you just kind of have like a more of a momentum. Because right now, what they're trying to do almost doesn't make sense. It's almost incoherent, like what
Yeah,
they.
isn't that what DC usually does with their comics? They'll introduce like the new 52 and see how that pans out. And if
Yeah,
it doesn't work out, then they'll reboot. They'll just have the Flash, running so fast that
Run so
he
fast.
he creates
twice
a new
now.
No, but
timeline.
I'm just saying for the first steps, you're bringing in Galactus.
Yeah,
That doesn't.
yeah.
You could have Mole Man. I know you can't do Doom, but like there's other guys that you can like the Wizard. There's
Look, for
people
those who
that
do
you
not
can
know,
do.
for those who do not know, the Fantastic Four is basically what built the Marvel universe that we know today. We got introduced to the Skrulls from the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom. Namor came back into Marvel because of Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of events that happened because of those first 100 issues that Jack Kirby and Stan Lee worked on.
They all have connections to
Black
the
Panther, I
Fantastic
think,
Four.
as well. Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
He
have
comes
connections.
from
You're right.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Sorry, Smilo,
No,
man.
I'm just like, yeah. Oh
What do
yes,
you
Milo,
think?
please go ahead. Anyway, I've said everything.
Yeah.
And guys, you're saying quite a lot, which I find quite interesting because my sort of like tackling point of view was a tad different from you guys, given that what I shared with the homie earlier, or no, WhatsApp actually, was that what I'm finding that Marvel is doing right now, they're sort of like course correcting the entire plan. So how, when I say the plan is this, remember post-COVID, there was a whole hullabaloo of, Marvel now branching into content, and not only with the movies, but with the series side of things. So with the former, well, the head of Marvel at that time, the push point was so large that after now Endgame has, or rather, did eclipse everything that there was in Hollywood, the new now sort of like former focus was streaming. And in that, with Marvel not having dabbled in it quite as much, given what licensing they've done with Netflix in the past times, they had to literally scramble anything and everything they could from the lineup, which now means whatever initial plan they had for phase 4 had to now be scrapped to plunge in whatever they have on their catalog, create sustainability of now not only investing millions into the platform, but ensure that the audience that they are to garner within the platform itself, at least now it's more of a 3 to 5 years longevity. And now everything was just scrapped to the wayside in a sense that whatever works, whatever seems fine, whatever is appealing to all genders can go.
And I think
And
at the time
essentially,
they were
that's
like
what we have spotted
releasing,
since then.
I think they were even releasing like 3 movies around like very short spans of time that year. Because usually with Marvel, initially we got like maybe 2 movies in a year. But that roster for that year was horrible. We're like, whoa, wait, why are you giving us so much movies now? Like at the same time, you're giving us like 6-episode, hour-long
Take
series.
advantage of the bubble.
No, but I'm saying extraordinary. I'll fight against that. I just think because everything that came out was mediocre. That's the biggest problem with it. I think that if everything was good, no one would complain. If 80% of it was phenomenal, even 70% of it was phenomenal. But the problem is the writers are not talking to each other. The directors are not talking to each other. Everybody's making their own movies in their own corners and contradicting the entire universe. So
And remember, there was a new
direction.
CEO at the time. It was a new Disney CEO at the time. Rob and I spoke about that.
See, and now here's the
True,
thing.
but I'm saying, okay, just my last point. True, but I'm also saying, and then at the same time, the writers are completely ignoring the source material itself, and they're ignoring previous films. Like, this is what I'm saying. Everybody's just doing whatever, and it just became a mishmash. And then on top of that, now it also was just mediocre. Like, there was nothing stellar that came out in that whole, like, even if we can say Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which, okay, great. But did you really need to watch it in order to watch Captain America 4? No. And then also Captain America 4, I have reports that they say that they hammer home what happened in Endgame anyway. So they could have skipped that entire project if they wanted to. Like, that's what I'm saying, is that people stopped working on a universe and they just started doing whatever they wanted in the universe and contradicting each other and then contradicting the source material. So it's just like, it felt like they were churning out movies for the sake of it, churning out series for the sake of it. It wasn't because they were trying to make something. If they were trying to make things, I think all that content would have been fine. It's just that they weren't trying, in my opinion, anyway.
No, I actually agree on some level. What I would say is, the people that have done it kind of perfectly are not even movies but books. I'm sure you guys have all heard of the 40K franchise, Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but there's like 100 books, and they all flow over this course of a series of time, basically. So what happens is about 4 writers in total, and these 4 writers are the ones that are basically kings that rule what happens within this universe moving forwards, and they are cohesive and they are together. You don't just go fetch, okay, who's the director that we know? Okay, let's go fetch this guy.
Tarantino.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's go get this guy. And then let's go get this writer, the one that did Mobius. Let's bring him in. You know what I mean? They keep bringing in all these people who are like, oh yeah, I wrote Gods of Egypt. Oh, quickly.
No, and then on top of that, they'll tell them actively, don't read the material.
Yes.
Don't understand these characters. Do whatever you want.
Yes.
And not everyone's confused.
They just do what they want.
Like, guys, I think something we're missing. Something we're missing here is this. It was at the peak of streaming. Remember, during the COVID era, when Netflix was #1 at the time, Disney was throwing their head on the ring. Paramount Pictures was also rumored to also be creating their own thing. Sony also wanted a jab. So it was more sort of like a war game of which studio would jump onto. And with Disney, obviously, at that time, having sort of like the highest bank in both the stocks and also the market share, they just threw the towel in, except they didn't do their due diligence, as the brother had said earlier. And it was a case of, look, we have all the money, we have all the talent in the world, do what we need to. We just need to retain the numbers that Netflix has been leading on for months now. And unfortunately, it was a little too late. Fast forward to the current year we're in, the CEO gone, a bunch of the creative stuff that held, I think, the first or second leg of the series were fired. The writers and producers, it's a mess, gents. And it's so much so that the ramifications are felt to date in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing all of the fingerprints in this Fantastic Four movie, and I just think that also Joseph Quinn, he doesn't look like Johnny Storm to me. Like I wasn't on the hate
funny
train
as well. Like that joke
I'm
he
saying,
made.
I wasn't on the hate train where I was just like Joseph, because people were mean to good God. Like, yo, the things people were saying about Joseph Quinn, I just remember at the time, because I'm Recast T'Challa all day, everybody knows that. But I remember at the time where people were like, yo, Recast T'Challa is one of the most disrespectful fandoms ever that the Marvel has ever seen. They're so disrespectful. I'm sorry. Did you see what they said about Joseph Quinn? People were calling him frog face and saying, hey, bro needs to go get plastic surgery.
Oh
And
my
like,
God.
why the hell did they
Came out- Have you seen the article that just came out now? They said we're
Which
going
article?
to change.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
What to change
of
what?
course, because
They're going to change what?
no, so basically Joseph Quinn has said that he's going to make Johnny Storm quote unquote less problematic. He's going to be more empathetic and less of a playboy. And it's just like,
yes,
so you're just gonna
correct.
you're gonna miss the point of the character
Johnny
and
Storm is an
everything,
asshole.
because he's supposed to no because he's supposed to be like narcissistic and then grow as a human being and then grow into the Johnny Storm that we know today that still retains some of
And he's
those
still a bit of an
aspects,
asshole, yeah.
but he's a better person in general. Like that part of the reason why people love Chris Evans' version of him is because that's kind of what happened. Like Johnny Storm starts off very narcissistic, and then towards the end of the movie, he decides to be the sacrifice to take on all the powers to try and fight Doom, who's got the cosmic energies going on, or whatever. Not the greatest arc in the movies, but that's basically his arc in the comic books, and they're just gonna
Yeah,
skip
and
past
please
that.
don't ask us what Michael B. Jordan's version of the character was doing in that movie, because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
But
No,
Smilo, I just want to get your thoughts on the
no,
actual trailer
he was in
Fantastic Four.
Fast and the Furious in that movie. Anyway, sorry, Smino, go ahead. Talk about the trailer, Maverick. Talk about the trailer, bro.
Oh, is he frozen?
Hello.
Let's give him a second.
Okay, and this is the wrong move. This is the wrong podcast, Extrodin, but you know.
So that's us basically giving him the spirit bomb so that he can, he can recharge.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, look,
It
if you're
works,
having
you
problems,
know.
you can just switch off your video. The audio will make it a lot better with the
The
bandwidth.
thinking. Yeah, I've noticed.
Aye.
Is he struggling again? Can you hear
I
us?
think I'm here. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
See, it works. Okay, yeah, go ahead, bro. Floor's yours.
For sure. Wait, where were we before I got interrupted earlier? I lost
Oh, no,
you
no,
for, I think,
No,
the
no.
second before.
We're just saying you can talk about the trailer and how you feel about the
Oh,
trailer,
yeah.
because I think I've done.
I'm mixed, honestly. I'm mixed from the director chosen. I'm not sure if you guys have checked because I've forgotten even the name. Because often what I tend to go by in terms of the templates around movies is that the person helming the film itself, the writers behind, and at least get sort of like the form of approach for the project at hand. And then with Fantastic Four, I felt like, ish, is it a case of Kevin playing, you know, correction fix for the entire ordeal that Marvel has been in, more so with the recent bombs last year, and then now to the casting and everything else, which I was kind of mid on it. In fact, regarding superheroes, I'm just mid on everything, more so on Marvel, and then also given the DC's light of things, which I think it could be a topic for another day. But as for the trailer itself, I don't know. I'm just mid. No expectations. I'm just feeling mid on it. But in terms of now certain shots, I felt as if the VFX wasn't quite finished. It's something I also had replied on via Twitter regarding certain VFX vendors that were mentioned in terms of the production. I was like, okay, cool. Given that they have like a 2 to 3 months avenue of them having to course correct whatever they have to fix, given that Fantastic Four has been in reshoots. I'm not sure if any of you guys know. There's certain scenes which are being reshot this week. I'm not sure if it's
Boy.
done. Typical Marvel, or should I say typical of superhero genres, that if certain things don't
No, but
work with
like also
executives or producers,
but the problem is that
yeah.
it just starts blowing out the budget. It's just like it starts making the movie way more expensive. It's like you need to figure this out, because you're making $200 million films, and if they're not, you know, like It's bad.
But
Just
it is what it is.
just to answer your questions, Milo. So this is directed by Mark Shackman. He's the guy
Yeah.
who produced and directed WandaVision.
TV series guy. Holy cow.
So
Holy cow.
from a series to a full now theatrical film. Not that the guy isn't capable of
I mean,
anything, but
It's
He's
not.
also done.
having to at
He's
least-
also done
okay.
episodes of Game of Thrones, Fargo. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and The Great. So, but yeah,
Similar
series
to standard
nonetheless.
of Thor 2, also hiring a person that helmed a couple of episodes in Game of Thrones, and how did Thor 2 fare?
I mean, to be fair, Michael Bay was doing commercials before he directed Bad
Okay,
Boys.
but you gotta admit though, to be fair, to him is that when Michael Bay was doing like, for example, David Fincher, my favorite director,
And Scorsese.
Same
he
here.
was controlled like a mofo in Alien 3. Why? Because he'd been doing commercials first, and this was
Right.
his first movie, and that's what it looks like here. There's nothing but TV series here. There's not a single movie. This is a Kevin Feige production. That's what this is. This is a director for hire. That's what this is, man. That's what I feel.
And also taking a note of an article that released last week, I think, of the director of the Marvels having said that the film is nothing to what she pitched and envisioned.
Yes. Yes.
So what does it say about the quality control of Marvel films?
That's a
Post
fair point.
Endgame to now.
That's a fair point because remember, even with Patty Jenkins, before she left to do Wonder Woman, she was attached to do Thor: The Dark World. And because of what she experienced, she left the project. And it was so bad that Natalie Portman decided not to come back to Marvel. So it seems like this thing was happening for a very long time before, it's just stuff started getting really worse. Like they were still successful, even though these things were still happening in the background, from what I gather.
It seems to be sort of like a hand of having too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak.
Yes.
Also for untested directors, because
Yes.
on a smaller scale of TV series, it's different as compared to a Hollywood theatrical, where executive producers and now the multitude of everything is riding on that one title to make a return. So it's a give and take. But as for Marvel, gents, let's just call it what it is. After Endgame, or perhaps after Shang-Chi, everything just became mid for me, not knowing how you gents can.
The only reason Shang-Chi
Oh, you have not been paying attention to me, have you?
Sorry, Rob, please say what you wanted to say before Buckmeister comes in.
I was just saying that I would actually say Shang-Chi wouldn't even be on that list if it wasn't for the director. I mean, sorry, for the film choreographer who was, believe it or not, have you ever seen the Jackie Chan movie Gorgeous?
Yeah.
You know the white guy that he fights? That's
Oh
the
yeah,
director.
I mean that guy has been with him on Wilson Mills as well, right?
Yes, he's the film choreographer. He's one of the most. The fights
it was
are
the white guy?
was him. Like
Wait,
The white
so
guy,
is
yeah.
it the white guy that Jackie Chan? Oh, is the movie Gorgeous where Jackie Chan was wearing that white suit?
Yes,
Yeah,
where,
I
like,
think
the
it was
white
he
guy's
owned a
wearing
newspaper
white and
company
Jackie Chan is
or
wearing
a
black.
recycling company or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
No, yeah, and then like he was basically taking that girl to his house, and he was like swimming in like a mansion or something, and then they like
Yeah.
fight at the
Yes.
end, and
Yeah.
Jackie Chan wins the fight, but he's just like, no, if we were in the same weight class, I would have lost or whatever or something.
And the guy was cheating. You remember his boxing gloves were weighted and they had something inside.
Oh, so I'm saying that's the guy who choreographed for
Yes,
Shang-Chi.
that's Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
So
sadly,
I just
died.
hate with the
wait,
dragon at
isn't
the
the
end.
director
But
that
anyway.
decent given the emotional levity of the so-called film and the representation that it was hammered on from the get-go? As soon as the project was announced, as soon as the marketing came through, and then at that time also gauging how the world was during the COVID sort of like intertwining of events, and then having just a happy meal, sub martial arts superhero type film, which in itself doesn't have any levity to anything that was there before, but it was decent for what it was.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was decent, but anything after that in terms of theatricals, chance.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, it felt like some film, last minute cohesions of mixed match, and then Sam Raimi things. Oh, that's too much, 218, tone it down.
Something
So-
went wrong with Sam
Sorry,
Raimi.
Rob, I think you were still saying something before we cut you off. My
No, I'm
apologies.
just talking about the value of
Yeah.
directors because I just think, like, okay, with the exception of Sam Raimi, normally a good director can still make something happen. I don't know what happened with Doctor Strange, but generally a good, like, for example, like, I still salivate at the idea of an Edgar Wright Ant-Man. can you imagine what the world would look like? Because you know that almost happened. We were so close.
Yeah, he was attached to it for years. Then
God.
he left the project. Yeah.
So heartbreaking, but I just feel like they need to stop hiring these directors for hire. These like 1 minute directors to come in. Look, don't get me wrong. I think it's cool to have a director that's like to give them a chance to explode, but maybe don't do it with a $300 million production.
You know what I think happened, guys? Remember when Jon Favreau came in, right? That was a gamble.
True.
It was a huge gamble, and it
Executive
worked.
gamble, even an
So the
executive
thing-
one,
I
which
think-
it was a back and forth. Yeah.
But they had
Yes.
nothing to lose though. But anyway, yeah.
But I think they're trying
Yeah,
to
but also
they're trying to recreate a lightning in a bottle situation. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to redo that, and it's just not gonna work.
True.
no, but here's the problem. Their hiring practices are backwards. Like Favreau knew of Iron Man in the comic books, right? The writer that they had comic book writers on the staff as well. Like if like this idea that a fan can't be a professional does not make sense because it worked. Like Joss Whedon.
But
the
also,
reason why Avengers-
remember that script was half baked. They didn't really know what they were doing at the time. They used to like improvise a lot in that first movie.
Yeah.
Like it probably could not have worked.
But
But
I'm
it
saying,
did.
I know, but I'm saying the other thing is, Jordan, though, maybe the script wasn't all the way there. But if you look at the structure of that movie, they are pulling directly from Iron Man comics. Some of them even look like panel to panel shots. If you look at it, like that first uniform that Iron Man wears, that is a panel to
The Mark 1. Is it the
recreation,
Mark 1?
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark 1. Yeah, Mark 1. That's
Isn't the
basically a
original Iron
recreation.
Man
It
one,
looks.
that cone head?
The Jack Kirby. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the thing Jack Kirby designed.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, and also the way events play out is the way Stan wrote the story. If you look at it, he's
Yeah.
this big guy. He gets kidnapped behind enemy lines and has to go through a phoenix metaphor. My point being is that they're hiring people who don't. Oh no, Smilo, no.
He said that his rig crashed, but he's rejoining. But I think we'll just close it off.
Okay.
I just wanted him to.
Okay.
I'm just asking him if he's watched Heart of the Hunter. If he hasn't, then I don't know if he wants to stick around or not.
Yeah, this 5 minute video took an hour.
I would hate to
Yeah.
spoil the thing for yeah, only us. Anyway, just ending the video. I just think their hiring practices are backwards, and I'm seeing now what they're trying to do in this trailer. It seems like they're trying to course correct, but they're still kind of missing the mark. And the other thing is, guys, smaller stakes is fine. You know, doesn't always have to
I
be the
mean,
world.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but they're saying that the next Spider-Man movie is gonna be street level.
No, they're saying it's going to be in the multiverse or something. That's what I heard. But I'm just saying, like Galactus immediately, you couldn't do like a mole man infects New York City residents with a disease that basically needs to be reverse engineered, and it's going to take some time. And then he has like mole men attacking the city, so the Fantastic Four have to figure out how to defend the city. And then in the middle of it, you can have the Fantastic Four getting acclimatized to their new power set and systems. Ben is depressed again. Johnny Storm is living it up, and Ben is pissed at Johnny Storm. And Reed is feeling guilt for taking people up into space. Maybe that's why he said. And then they all have to figure out the mole man, who's also a genetic experiment gone wrong. And then they find some sort of resolution between all of them as characters. And then you end the story. That couldn't have been a movie. No, we gotta jump
Yeah,
straight
that's
to
the typical template of Marvel, whether it's comics or movies, and that works. It worked with the Avengers.
But I'm saying that's just But I'm saying I freestyled that off the top of my head, and that couldn't have been a movie. We had to jump straight to world-ending. Galactus is going to be stepping on planets. Also, if Galactus is on the planet, he doesn't step. He just submerges himself into the planet and eats it.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was about. What Godzilla nonsense was this?
Yeah, what Dr.
Yeah,
Manhattan nonsense is that?
Like if he's on the planet, like the thing is, if he's on the planet, it's already game over.
That exploded. He's got his own gravity, I'm sure, dog. His face is the size of your planet, and then
Not, bruh.
steps, dog. It's
Like the
wild.
planet is not is like this to him.
Yes.
It's
So
like
what
a, it's like a, what's this? You guys remember Ed and Eddie? Those
Jawbreakers.
jawbreakers.
Yeah.
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 That's exactly what.
So yeah, just so my closing thoughts on this. I don't know how this is gonna pan out, and honestly, I don't care. Um, I hope people who like it have a good time. Fantastic Four fans are not gonna be happy, which again, mistake. And also, there's a bunch of people who are probably going to remember those other movies. Maybe it'll be better than those other movies, but that's not a high bar. And I don't think this is going to be the saving Hail Mary pass that Marvel needs it to be. This is just going to, I think it's just going to be another doorstop on the way to Doomsday, which also, if this is what they're doing now, I have no hope for Doomsday. So, anyway.
Rob, do you have any parting shots?
Some of these shots look genuinely fantastic. I think the cinematographer
I see what you did there. All right.
the cinematographer seems to be doing great. Have you seen that meme where the guy's like, I'm sure the people that worked here worked very hard. I'd like to thank them. That's basically, I'm thanking the catering for quickly. They worked hard.
Steve from accounting. I'd like to thank
the makeup guys.
Steve from
Oh,
accounting.
no, the makeup guys, you did your thing. Hey,
Yes.
oh, the lighting guys, hey, sound design, you were on it.
That's hilarious.
You know how bad a movie gotta be that you gotta start thanking all the staff and not even the main people in it.
Oh, yeah, that's, you know, I've heard those kind of speeches before where they're talking about how many people they hired throughout this whole production and how you know, this city has been, you know, kind to them and the people are kind. My G, talk about the movie. Like, why are you?
It's like, you know, it's garbage. But anyway, I think this is not exciting me. A part of me doesn't even know if I hope they do well, because I want them to change course. So it's like, do I hope they do well, or do I hope they change while still doing well? I don't even know. So I know I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not excited. It probably won't be garbage, but yeah, it won't be what I hope the future for Marvel is. Anyway, that's me.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, and that's a very good point. Okay, look, I think I said it in the beginning, and I'll say it again as my parting shot. This looks like a copy of like someone is copying someone else's homework. We already saw this with the Rise of the Silver Surfer. You guys are just showing us Galactus instead of a cloud, but at the same time, you're confusing the hell out of us. Is this where Monica Rambeau is? Is this where the X-Men are? If not, what the hell are we doing? All right.
Yeah.
And also, like, how long is this movie gonna be? Because if this movie is gonna be as long as I think it's gonna be in my head, then that means that there will be a lot to explore. There's gonna be timelines. There's gonna be like a sort of what's this that we like using in anime? A time skip. But I doubt it. But we'll see because it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Perhaps what we might get is an origin story, and then there's a time jump, and then everything is explained and whatever. But we'll see how it goes. But look, this movie already in 3 hours, it had around 800 and something, 300 and something million views or something on the Marvel Entertainment channel. So that's I mean, the Marvel still has a big fandom, no matter how bad their movies are. Looking at you, Craven, looking at you, Mobius, looking at you, whatever else that came out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. We shall see you guys on the next one, and we shall be giving us our thoughts on other trailers as they get released in the future. Thank you so much, Buckmeister, for joining us because we truly appreciate your vast knowledge when it comes to comic books. And we're sorry we're not getting recast of the Black Panther, but we hope that will happen in the future. Anyway, see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Peace.
Peace.